Laser sights will make you a more accurate and confident shooter by providing visual feedback on sight alignment and trigger control. Crimson Trace, making laser sight standard equipment. Learn more at crimsontrace.com.
Welcome back to Tom Gresham's Gun Talk, live from the FN booth at the NRA show.
All right, we are back. Tom Gresham here. Sorry, guys, I didn't mean to blow you out there. Standing right in front of the speaker. I thought the guy just jumped right out of his skin. We are live on the radio. Yes, ma'am, we are. I tell you what, we are live, and I do. So how are you? It's good. It's good. I love it. We've got people coming by. They're talking to us while we're on the radio. We're having a ball here. All right, we are live. It is Gun Talk, by the way. And no, you cannot call in today because we are just full of guests. We're having a ball at the FN booth. We're joined right now by Julie Golob, one of the top shooters in the country, and one of our favorite people. How are you, dear?
Oh, I'm so great. So great to be here. Thanks, Tom.
It's good to be here with you. I tell you what, you are like the ultimate shooter mom because you actually share your family experiences with the world through your social media, and that's very cool.
It's exciting. It's tough times right now, especially, but you can do it. And I know a lot of
tough times because of the demands on your time.
Well, absolutely, and it's something that you can still do all of this and have all of the things and enjoy the shooting sports with your family, and it's really neat to be able to kind of share that with other people to say that we do this too.
Right. Well, you think about it when you go. Of course, you're on the circuit. You're out there shooting all the time. And you do have families who are, it's like the families are on the circuit. I'm thinking about the Yackleys,
I know.
And there's several families like, man, when they show up, they all show up.
They do.
They're there.
They do. I went to the first time I've been to the World Rimfire Championships. And talk about a family event. It should be renamed to the World Family Shooting Championships because there are kids all over the place painting targets, having a great time. It's such a fantastic thing.
That is terrific. Okay, so how old are yours?
I have a 10-year-old and a 5-year-old.
Okay. So 10-year-old shooting?
Yes, she is.
Good.
Yes, she is.
Excellent.
Yep.
And not very long before the 5-year-old starts.
She's itching. She's competitive. So what big sisters do.
Yeah, imagine that. Yeah. How would they ever become competitive, right?
Well, it's funny. My oldest isn't so much. She's very much, she's very precise and, typical oldest child. And,
the first. Perfect, yes.
But my youngest is the spitball. She's gonna be tough to handle.
That's fun.
Yes,
that's fun.
It is.
So we have big news from you right now. Since we are at the NRA's annual meetings, you are now, for the first time for you, an NRA board member.
I am.
You got elected.
I am, yes. I get sworn in tomorrow.
That's very cool.
It's very exciting.
So is that something you had thought about in the past? Did somebody come to you, or did you just say, hey, I think I want to do this?
What's interesting? I met Sandra Froman.
Yeah, I love Sandy. She's a good friend.
Amazing woman. And, this was back in 2005 or 6. And she said, Julie, you should think about...
She has a way of doing that.
She does. And it took 10, 15 years to do it.
Yeah. She puts that little thing in your head.
And says, you can do it. You can do anything.
She was president of the NRA.
Yes. Second.
President. What people may not know about Sandy is that before she did all of that, Sandy was a shooter, a machine gun collector.
Yeah.
She is a serious gun person.
She is.
Yeah. And by the way, a very accomplished attorney.
Exactly. Articulate.
Yeah. Just very, she's on board of knife rights with me. Just like you say, when you show up at gun site, there's a pretty decent chance Sandy's liable to be there any given
may
time.
Pop into her, yes.
Exactly. Well, congratulations.
Well, thank you.
This is exciting.
I appreciate it.
So you're going to take over the place?
No. I intend to learn a lot. I'm already learning a lot. But I'm excited to bring in a perspective that may not have been on the board for a while, specifically with the shooting sports and how much I'm in the weeds, if you will.
Sure.
And I'm hopeful that we can continue to grow those types of programs as we continue to grow the membership.
Well, again, to the general public, what they're being told is they never hear anything about the NRA being a competitive shooting organization,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Right.
but that's a huge part of what the NRA does.
Huge part of it. And we have so many different sports, from silhouette to precision to small bore to the Bianchi Cup, which is right around the corner.
Right.
There are so many opportunities. And what I really love about NRA sports is, unlike a lot of the fast and furious action pistol sports that I shoot in, or three gun, for example, they're really accessible to any ability level.
That's a good point.
And between the divisions and the classification system and the fact that there are so many programs out there to help you build those skills, it's very, very exciting.
It is. So you've been here for the whole show.
Yes.
It's been really busy. It's thinning out now. We're at the very end now.
Very end.
Which is, it's an interesting deal. I've tried, and I don't know how successful I am, I've tried to explain the NRA show to people and encouraging them to come and try to describe the vibe, if you will,
Yeah.
and the makeup of the people here. When you tell people about it, what do you tell them?
It's truly, you hear it a lot, family reunion, or a way to connect with people that, you never thought you would, whether they're a neighbor in your neighboring town, like, oh, wow, you do this, then you run into each other in the aisles, or you meet people from all around the world. It's funny, I'll tell you the story. I'm standing in the Smith & Wesson booth talking about one of our products, and this woman, she's asking me about this, and a gentleman walks up behind us and goes, I don't know what to do. All you women do these days is talk about guns, 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 guns. And we just laughed and laughed, but it's so true. I remember coming here 20 years ago.
That's great.
And women would just be here with their spouses.
Right.
But now?
Yeah, they're just hanging around and going, when can we leave? Yeah.
Not now.
Not only women, tons and tons of kids.
Oh, tons.
And honestly, the most well-behaved kids you'll see at any gathering this size anywhere,
Yes.
I think.
Yes, and all very aware of firearm safety.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a, we've got the Eddie Eagle program out in the hallway, so they can check in
Right.
and say, hey, with Eddie, he turned 30 today.
Really?
Evidently.
Oh, that's
it's his
cool.
birthday, so happy birthday, Eddie.
Tens of millions of kids have gotten their training from Eddie Eagle training. Now, and understand, that's for very young kids.
Yes.
That's the program. And it is, I tell people, it's a gun avoidance program,
It is.
actually.
That's exactly
Stop,
what it is.
don't touch, leave the area, tell an adult.
Yep.
Simple as that.
Simple, clear, and what we need to, the universal message.
Yeah, and when they're too young to know what to do with a gun, they need to not touch it and go tell somebody if they find one.
Exactly.
It's a great program. I also have the air gun range here.
They do.
And there's always kids over there.
Always. And they're just smiles, ear to ear.
I had a lady at another booth. She was saying, it's interesting. They have all these stickers out. They have things out. Just none of the youngsters come by and just grab things. They come up and say, May I have one? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you see it at the booth all the time.
I do. And, nobody's with their head buried in a phone or a game. They're in this.
I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, they're all
you're
head
right.
up, looking around.
They're looking around. Well, there's a lot to see here.
And they're not trudging their feet like, oh, I'm done. When are we going to be done? Kind of, because they really are excited. And that's such a neat thing.
Okay, I know I sound like an evangelist when I talk about this, but that is such a cool place.
It is.
It's such a cool gathering.
It is.
Okay, so, all right, so what are you up to? Where do you go from here? What's your schedule like now for shooting?
Well, for shooting, it's a big Bianchi Cup year. It's actually a World Action Pistol Championship back-to-back. So before Bianchi, you shoot the Worlds as a warm-up. Crazy, I know,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
that's the end of May. I'll shoot a couple more action pistol events, and then I'll transition to USPSA Practical Shooting Sports,
Right.
and have a lot of fun with that. So there's so many sports out there now, and there's just a place for everyone. It's hard to do them all, and it's a neat thing.
That's an interesting point. There are more types of shooting sports now than there have ever been.
Ever.
I mean, if you go back 30, 40 years, you had bullseye and kind of the beginnings of action pistol.
Right.
But there was no three gun.
No.
And action pistol is not just action pistol anymore.
No.
It's a whole lot of different things.
Yeah, it could be it could be IDPA, it could be USPSA, it could be IPSC on the international scale. Precision rifle has taken off huge,
Right.
and we have all the different organizations that are becoming that. 2-gun, 3-gun, 1-gun, sometimes, whatever.
Pistol, carbine. You're going, what?
Steel challenge,
Yeah,
it's neat.
You can find a match somewhere. Okay, I'm going to bounce this off of you.
Okay.
I've heard this a lot.
Yes.
And you've been shooting competition like forever, right?
Yes.
For those who don't know, when you were in the Army, you were in the Army Marksmanship Unit,
Yes.
right? You were a professional shooter, and now you're a professional shooter. You can go to any match anywhere and show up with nothing and say, I would like to try this.
Yes.
Am I right?
It's
You know where
so
I'm going.
True. It's so
And
true.
what's going to happen?
People are going to say, come here.
Mm-hmm.
You can borrow this. You can borrow this. You got to give it a try. They'll walk you through stages. They'll walk through the
Try this
experience.
holster. Try this thing. Try this pistol. Try this deal.
Yes.
You know, I'm not kidding you. You can get out of your car and walk up with nothing in your hands and say, I'd like to try this, and you will be shooting.
You will. Just bring your Eye on Ear Pro. And even if you don't have that, someone's probably
Somebody's
got some
some
spare.
for you. Exactly. Everyone's got spares,
It's
right?
so neat. And so many of these clubs out there have, indoctrination programs for, the entry-level shooters. You can go and learn about individual sports at the club level. It's really cool how we don't just, talk about joining. We give the people the tools to do it at that club level. So you got to get out, get in your car, head to your local club.
You got to go and do it. And look, and if you're a little bit worried about doing it, bring a friend.
Absolutely.
All right. To that end, and just with the couple of minutes we got left, the concept of so many women getting into shooting and the women being different, the value of bringing a friend or 2 or 3 friends and doing it together.
It's huge. It's huge. When we look across the country at the successful groups, we've got the Shoot Like a Girl trailers that travel around to all the Cabela's. We've got the Well-Armed Woman, a girl with a gun,
Mm-hmm.
And, we have all of these network opportunities, but even at the club level, what's amazing to me is when I started, it was all, I went with my dad. There was always a man that I went with.
Yeah.
Now we're seeing single women get their girlfriends out there, and they're doing this on their own because we've made the sports simple, we've made them fun, and we've realized, hey, this is for everyone, and everyone is welcome.
It's wonderful. All right, if people want to follow what Julie Golob is doing, how do they do that? Because you're like the social media maven. You got it all figured out.
Simplest way is go to my website, juliegolob.com. There I can say it, JULIEGOLOB.
GOLOB is Golob. Okay, juliegolob.com. And then you can go from there for Facebook and Instagram and every other thing you're doing, and you never know, you're going to have pictures of your kids and what you're doing and everything else. It's wonderful. I love following what you're doing and keeping up with what you're up to.
Thank you so much. And
always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. All right? Yeah. Good luck this year.
Thank you.
And congratulations on the board. That's real. The NRA Board of Directors, that's very cool. Our newest director, Julie Golob. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Don't go far. We will be right back.
Founded with the singular purpose of building fine sporting firearms, Kimber creates a handgun for every person and a rifle for every adventure. While embracing modern manufacturing techniques, every Kimber depends on practiced hands for assembly, fit, and finish. There's no compromise in features, materials, or performance. Synonymous with quality, precision, and excellence, and made in America. Kimber is what all guns should be. Visit KimberAmerica.com. That's KimberAmerica.com.
If you're like me, you don't have money to burn, but you still want to buy guns, ammo, and accessories. That's why we created Gun Dealio. That's a free smartphone app. Just download it and start getting the deals. Could be discounts, offers of free magazines for your gun, or you could be the first to hear about new stuff from gun makers. Here's how it works. With Gun Dealio on your phone, you get alerts when you enter a gun store. Special deals, You don't have to do a thing. It'll do a lot of other cool things, like let you watch gun videos and listen to Gun Talk podcast. Plus, check it anytime for hundreds of deals and offers. Getting more while spending less. Smart, huh? Gun Dealio. Made in America. Gluten-free. At the App Store and Google Play or GunDealio.com.
Before computers, before engines and automobiles and roads, before all of this, there was the land. A great ocean of land with mountains black as night, standing guard over all that is and was and forever will be. This is the Black Hills of South Dakota, the place that made the people who make the best ammo on Earth.
Visit black-hills.com for more information. When the U.S. military's elite units and law enforcement agencies across the globe demanded innovation and reliability, they didn't settle. They chose Sig Sauer. When world champion professional shooters demanded precision accuracy, they didn't settle. They chose Sig Sauer. So it's no surprise more and more civilian gun owners are refusing to settle for anything less. They're choosing Sig Sauer firearms, ammunition, electro-optics, suppressors, air guns, and training. Sig Sauer. Never settle.
Back with the Tom Gresham at the FN booth at the Dallas Convention Center. I guess the Kay Bailey Hutchison Convention Center here in Dallas, Texas. It's thinning out, as I say. We're in the last couple of hours of the NRA Annual Meetings here, the show. Still a lot of people around, but not like it was before, which is okay because it makes it easier to move around, and everybody's still having a good time here. Some interesting things going on. Let's see, one of the pistols... A lot of new things being shown here, and one of the things I was looking at was and you may have seen the announcement of it, the 10-millimeter semi-auto, I can't remember the model, from Springfield Armory that's set up for RMR, for optics. Very cool. More and more interest in the 10-millimeter. I know it's never going to be the 9 or the 45, but for whatever reason... a lot of gun makers have decided to bring out a few things. Ruger has, of course, the revolver, the match champion. They already had some revolvers in that. There are other revolvers out, which at first blush you're thinking, why a revolver? Well, why not? They work really well. With the full moon clips, it works just great. So that works for you. But in a semi-auto, the 10-millimeter works, just super. It is, man... In a 1911, it's pretty sweet. So that works very well. I was impressed by that. I guess the question is, why a 10? What would you do with the 10? Well, you got a lot of power. You got almost a 41 Magnum. It's basically a Magnum without a Magnum name is what the 10 really is. So it works very well for you. It's a great caliber. And in the revolver, you can also shoot the 40s. 40 Smith & Wesson, which I like a lot. That's the idea that you can do that, especially if you're crazy like me and you ended up with a bunch of 40 ammo somewhere along the line and then decided, I don't know what I'm going to do with all that. Well, I could use it in my 10. That'll work just as well as it works perfectly. So seeing some of that, a lot of small pistols, a lot of talk about small pistols. Let's see. The Glock 43, of course, the SIG 365. We're talking little bitty 9s, some little 380s. Let's see, Springfield's got the 911. A lot of small, there's full size, and then you got compact, and then you got subcompact, and then I don't know what you call these, subcompact. They're really small. Appendix carry, maybe. Pocket carry, certainly. Interest there. Ran into a gentleman earlier today that all he does, they make holsters for appendix carry, and they teach appendix carry. And so I had an interesting conversation with him. And what I got out of that was I was learning something. Because I told him, I said, look, I need you to coach me up. I've tried it. It did not work well for me. It was not comfortable. I didn't really understand. And I think I said, I've got a short torso, and when I sit, it's uncomfortable for me. And so the appendix carry just didn't work. He said, well, he says, the thing is, yeah, come on, sit down. The thing is, he said, you need a longer barrel rather than a shorter barrel for appendix carry. I said, really? What's that about? He said, well, if it's short barrel, then it's liable to get poking around and stick you in the wrong place and, poke you in your femoral artery or whatever it is there and point at things you don't want to point at. If you have a longer barrel, that's a lot less likely to happen. And it falls into kind of a crease between your leg and that thing you don't want to point your gun at if you're a guy. So you got a little bit of that going on there. KJ, you can put that thing on too. We'll yak. We're kind of freewheeling and having a ball now. We're joined also by Jared McDivitt from FN America. And KJ just rejoined us. You've been wandering the halls and terrorizing people.
I can't get enough of this place. I'm telling you what.
It's a hoot. And Jared, I mean, your booth has been swamped. Finally, it's thinning out a little bit, but man, it has been crazy how many people you've had in here.
It has been crazy. We've had a great show here. Black Rifle Coffee in the booth.
Oh yeah, tell them about that. What's going on with it? I mean, you're giving away coffee everywhere. Every time I walk in, I'm going, oh, it smells like coffee. It's great.
Yeah. There's so many wired people around here because they hit this booth every time.
Well,
every
they're serving
5
coffee
minutes.
right behind us, right?
Yeah, our staff is pretty wired in right now.
They
They're
all got a good buzz going on with their
yeah.
coffee.
But Black Rifles, everybody knows this story. Great folks.
Black Rifle Coffee Company.
Great folks. Had them at SHOT Show. Had a great event with them there with our dealers.
Right.
Giving away some coffee. Asked them to come back and join us again. So they gladly came back and did it again here. And they've made a special blend for us, the FN Scar Blend.
Really?
So we've been giving away bags of FN Scar Blend coffee. So that's been a big hit.
You had Adam Vinatieri in the booth yesterday, NFL kicker.
Yep.
I mean,
he's pretty good.
Great.
Yeah, he does okay.
He's pretty decent.
Yeah.
No, you know what he is also? He's just a nice guy.
Yeah, he is.
And people are lined up to get his autograph. And I'm not sure if they were getting the autograph or if they were lined up to get the bag of coffee they got at the same time.
Yeah,
but either way, they win.
Yeah, it was both, I think. But he, he's a guy that you schedule for an hour. And it doesn't matter if it's an hour and a half or 2 hours. He's going to stay and talk to everybody and have pictures and have great conversations. So he's a great friend to us as well.
That was pretty cool. Yeah. So how much coffee are you giving away here? Do you have any idea?
We bought 1,000 bags of coffee from.
It's looking pretty low too.
Yeah.
So.
And I'm getting nervous because I didn't get mine yet, and this is not good because I'm a coffee hound.
And we have BRCC right here, and they can tell you probably how much they've given out. I know it's they brought a lot in. So
oh man,
pallets and pallets of it.
Pallets of coffee. You guys giving away coffee like crazy? 100 gallons a day of coffee. Holy cow. They are giving away a lot of coffee.
A lot of coffee, a lot of mugs.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's cool.
Yeah.
Black Rifle Coffee Company, of course, you can find them. Just Google them up. You can find them on the web.
Are they giving it in vats where you can just
inject it?
Pipe it right in?
Yeah.
I think folks would like that. But,
I'll get an IV going.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I tell you what, Jared, if you would, hold right there. When we come back, let's talk a little bit more about FN and what you guys have been up to, because the story is large because the company is large, and the history is large for FN.
Yep.
And we got to talk a little bit about that when we come back, all right? Fair enough?
Great.
Good deal. And KJ, if you would, you could hang with us and kind of bring us up to speed with, as you've been cruising the halls here, what you've been seeing.
There's so much stuff. It's amazing.
And I'm just saying, I'm looking around here, and all right, imagine this. I'm sitting in FN booth, and I'm doing like a 360. I got, let's see, Remington Blackhawk Outers, Putner Creek, Spear Federal, Ruger Dixie Gun Works, Mossberg Kimber, going, holy moly, I'm in the middle of Nirvana. This is as good as it gets, man.
Yep.
This is a pretty cool place. All right, guys, hold what you got right there, and we'll be back in just a second. I'm Tom Gresham, and this is Gun Talk. We are at the FN booth. We're in Dallas, Texas. We're at the NRA's Annual Meetings, and we're having fun.
Welcome back to Tom Gresham's Gun Talk, live from the FN booth at the NRA show.
All right, we are in Gun Central, and then it turns out we're in Coffee Central as well. We're at the FN booth here, where it's all about guns and coffee, so we're having a ball. So Edwin Parnell joins us from a Black Rifle Coffee Company, where you guys are serving coffee over here. We're giving away bags of coffee. How did this thing, Black Rifle Coffee Company, come about in the first place?
We started about, we're in our fourth year now. Evan Hafer, our CEO, he's the one that started it basically in his garage, just roasting 1 pound of coffee at a time. It's just him and his wife.
Was he just doing it for himself?
Yeah, he was just doing it. Initially, he was doing it for himself, taking it overseas on deployments, different jobs and stuff like that, because he couldn't find good coffee over there.
If I can't find it, I'll make it.
Yeah,
right? Exactly.
Then people liked it so much, somebody said, hey, maybe you should sell this one day. And it just kind of sparked.
I mean, how many times have we heard a story like that? Jeff Hoffman at Black Hills Ammo. He's making ammo for himself, and then his fellow cops say, well, like, could you make some of that for me? And all of a sudden you got an ammo company coming out of it.
Exactly.
Same deal here, right?
Exactly.
So that's pretty cool. Jared, you been drinking any of this coffee?
Yes.
All right, wait, let me get your mic up.
Yes, I've been drinking a lot of this coffee.
No, yes, I've been drinking a lot of this coffee.
Yeah, we've been keeping them all supplied this entire show.
No kidding. All right, so you're the coffee expert. What do we need to know about coffee and how coffee's made?
So what do you need to know?
Yeah, I mean, it basically is what's the difference between good coffee and average coffee? I guess that's one of the things, because people say, a lot of store-bought coffee, you go, yeah, it's okay.
I would say
it's okay.
The main thing is probably freshness. So maybe a store-bought coffee, it might be sitting on the shelf 6-12 months. Our coffee is usually roasted and shipped out within the week. So that's the biggest factor.
Okay.
Exactly.
Interesting.
And then just different techniques of making it and that kind of stuff.
Do you have different, I'm from Louisiana, we do the French roast where we just basically burn it before we make coffee,
Yes, sir.
Yep.
We do offer several dark roasts for our customers.
Okay. For us, it's just right when you can put a spoon in it, it stands up by itself. It's
Exactly.
just right. There you go. Well, that's cool. So how do you distribute it?
We're mostly e-commerce, so that's kind of
off
where
the
we
website
started.
there.
Yes, sir. We have a coffee club now, so you can order your coffee and just have it automatically delivered every 2 weeks.
Feed the habit, man.
Yep. Just kind of set it and forget it, and just shows up.
I like that. I mean, we could get all over that thing. Well, that's very cool, Edwin. Now, Jared, during the break here, we were talking. You guys have some events coming up and actually doing some stuff with these guys.
Yeah, we have a Battle Proven tour that we started this year. So we're traveling around to different events that aren't typical to what we would normally do. So we're going to some NASCAR events, some air shows. We've had a really good time with it. We're going to be in, I guess, Charlotte here in just a couple weeks.
Yeah.
We'll be down in Charlotte Motor Speedway. We're going to be in Dayton for an air show.
That's interesting.
Yep, and then we're going to team up with Black Rifle Coffee Company again in Texas.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yep.
What, at the racetrack here at Arlington?
Yep.
Okay. Well, that's pretty sweet. So they're not shooting events, but they are the kind of events where, when you go to NASCAR or, frankly, when you go to air shows, you're liable to run into a crowd that's very sympathetic.
Yeah.
To what we all do.
Very similar community.
Yeah, I think it's right. Well, I'm a pilot, and a gun guy, and I drink coffee.
Yeah.
And have I told you my theory particularly about guys and our hobbies?
No.
Airplanes. Think about it. Motorcycles, airplanes, cars, boats, guns. What we do, we turn money into noise.
Yes.
And you start thinking, yeah, pretty much everything I do. We just turn money into noise. That's what we do.
That's good.
And if you want to make more noise, you got to spend more money.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at this thing right behind me, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of noise right there.
A lot of noise there.
The saw.
Yep. M249S. That does make some noise.
So this is the semi-auto version?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
$6,500, so $6,000, $7,000.
It's right around there. Yeah, 7,400.
Okay,
Yep.
all right, it is. I mean, if you want to have the big toys, you got to pay,
That's
man.
right.
You got to
Right.
play.
You got to pay to play.
That's pretty much it. But I mean, when you think about it, and every guy I've ever mentioned it to, they went, "Yeah, that's it." More noise.
That rifle gets picked up more than probably anything else in the booth here. So
that's a magnet.
Yeah.
And I mean, I want a pedal mount. I want to put it on stuff. It's on my 4-wheeler or something. I don't know what, but something.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's not the biggest seller, though, is it?
No, it's not the biggest seller for us. Yeah, our handguns are our biggest sellers right now. Our new FN 509, I think you spoke with.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Tom Victor on that stuff a couple days ago.
Right.
Was it today?
Just today.
Today, okay.
Yeah, time flies when we're having fun.
That's right.
That's right. Tell you what I want to do. If you would, Jared, hang with me because I want to talk a little bit about FN and what you guys are doing. I appreciate that. And all right, again, for people that want to know more about Black Rifle Coffee Company, where do they go?
They can go to our website, www.blackriflecoffee.com. Check us out on our Instagram, Facebook.
You're everywhere. You got the social media thing working.
Oh, yeah.
Edwin, thank you so much. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
All right, you bet. All right, don't go far. We'll be right back.
Trust Inceptor ARX, preferred defense for your self-defense ammunition. It features patented technology and an advanced lead-free polymer copper material for unprecedented terminal performance. Its non-hollow point round nose design means it feeds flawlessly and won't plug or fail to transfer energy on impact. Lightweight projectiles reduce weight in your carry gun and add velocity to all loads and calibers. Inceptor ARX is available in all popular handgun calibers. Learn more at InceptorAmmo.com.
Tactical professionals who put their lives on the line every day depend on Surefire. Since 1979, Surefire has designed, machined, and assembled the finest flashlights, weapon-mounted lights, hearing protection, and suppressors right here in the U.S. Surefire, offering a best-in-class warranty and customer service, and used by more military special operations, SWAT teams, and hard-use end users than any other brand. Surefire, American-built, American-strong. Visit Surefire.com. That's Surefire.com.
Since 1937, Ducks Unlimited has led the charge on wetlands and waterfowl conservation. Wetlands reduce the effects of flooding and recharge our drinking water, but perhaps most importantly, they allow us to experience what makes the outdoors so great. Band together to rescue our wetlands.
Stand for the Second Amendment with Franklin Armory. Their 3-position BFS Gen 3 trigger is one of the hottest products for your AR, HK, ACR, CZ, and B&T in curved and straight variations. In position 3, fire 1 round on pull and 1 round on release. Ideal for both tactical and competition use. Get a 10% discount on everything with the code word GUNTALK at franklinarmory.com.
Back with you, Tom Gresham. It's Gun Talk, having some fun over here. We're swapping stories. KJ joins us again. We're talking with Jared McDivitt from FN. Jared, one of the things I was thinking about is that I think there are probably still people who think that you guys import all your guns, and that's not the case.
Yeah, that's not the case. The only things that we bring in from Belgium is our 5.7, PS90, and the SCARs.
Okay.
So we still bring those in. All the other handguns, the FNS line, FNX, the 509, we make all that stuff in Columbia, South Carolina.
Columbia, South Carolina.
Yep. All the FN15s, the belt feds, we do
kidding.
all that stuff down there. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, that's cool. Can we just go down there and pick some up?
You can. We actually have a pro shop outside the gate.
I'll bring a truck.
Yeah. You could actually come
truck
down.
up.
Yeah.
That would actually be fun.
Why does KJ have a U-Haul?
That's right. Just because he couldn't drive an 18-wheeler.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. Yeah. Exactly. Well, that's very cool.
Yeah.
And it really an extensive line. For those who don't know, the quick history of FN, Fabrique Nationale, Belgian company, goes back 100 years, very much associated with John Browning. Some of the great firearms designs of the world in the last century all came out of FN.
Yes. Yep.
And probably, I bet you it would be fair to say there's hardly an army on the planet that hasn't used FN firearms at some point.
I would agree with that. Yep.
I mean, when I think about it, you just think of what you guys make, and they're everywhere. They're everywhere in the world.
Yeah, the M4s, the M16s, the current Army stuff, we produce that stuff now. We have those contracts.
Okay.
The FAL,
Right. How long? FAL's been around forever.
Yeah.
What, 40 years, 50 years?
Yeah, a few.
Something like that. I mean, it's crazy.
Yep.
And why? Because it works.
Exactly.
It's just reliable.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Well, and they're building off that history, and I think that's one of the key things that you guys have developed here at FN is just a nature of, we're taking time-tested practices and applying them to new technologies.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, good point. It's all right, KJ. When you look around, you're looking. Say, oh, you know what we haven't talked about? My eyes just fell on the shotgun, and then you got the long-range sniper rifle over there. We haven't talked about any of those. That's the cool stuff. And you guys are tearing up the shotgun world, of course.
Yeah, we do pretty well with the shotguns, primarily in law enforcement.
Right.
Is what we really focus on with the shotguns right now. We do still have a competition, SLP, for 3-gun and things like that.
I'm looking at that and thinking home defense right off the bat.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know how much gear you can hang off that thing? It'll weigh like 50 pounds.
A coffee pot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Filled with black Rifle coffee.
And that's where you hang the IV drip for your
That's
coffee.
right, exactly. And then you got your bolt guns.
Yeah, we have the SPR A5. That's really our lone survivor right now. It's on that platform. And then we have our ballista, of course. So our 338 Lapua. It's an amazing rifle.
Those are so much fun to shoot.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have not shot those.
I've not shot that
Oh
one.
my gosh!
So why
They're
do you
fun.
like that?
I like the 338.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
You like to reach way out there and touch something.
Yes,
don't you?
reaching out there is a lot of fun, but when you can do it in a super accurate platform, even better.
Well, what is it? Colonel Townsend Whalen's. It is worthless.
Right,
What's
exactly.
the point?
Yep.
I mean, so there. And the other thing that's happened is over the last, 20, 30 years, expectations are much higher now for consumers.
Yes.
Manufacturers could sell a 2.5-inch rifle 40 years ago and say, well, that's our spec. That's what it is. If you want something different, you got to have a custom rifle made. Mm-hmm. Nobody could get away with that.
Right.
No.
I mean, you'd be out of business.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Well, the tolerances have come so close and so tight that these guns, I mean, you walk around this show, we walk around in this booth, man, they are smooth and they're tight, and it just feels great.
There's another aspect of that whole thing, too, is that nobody can get away with making junk anymore because everybody knows, because everybody can share it. Just go,
That's right.
click, it's done. I got this gun, and I did this thing. Oh, man. Nobody can say, well, we've never had that problem before. Oh, really? Here's 100 posts to say you had that problem.
Yeah.
Oh, busted.
Yeah, so ammunition's
it keeps
a big
everybody
thing
honest.
too.
Yep.
Ammunition's come a long way as well. So
that's
that
true.
That really drives a lot of the accuracy requirements and
that's so
making
true.
sure the rifle can do what the ammo can do. And
that's right. Only hand loaders could make accurate ammo 40 years ago.
Yep.
Now you buy accurate ammo anywhere.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's pretty amazing. So, I mean, it's a different world, and it's good for everybody, and it's actually good for the manufacturers.
Yep.
Especially when you got somebody like you who you guys know how to make not just reliable military grade, but reliable, like, okay, this stuff is really going to work and it's going to shoot well. Of course, the 509, I've been looking at that. And
oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Look
at it.
They've got an agency arms build over here. I mean, my gosh. And they've got a Apex build over there they're gorgeous guns.
Yeah, we were talking about it. We kicked off the show talking about those two. And I was trying to show them to everybody, hold them up close to the microphone. And
look harder. Come on.
That's right. But, okay, those are the ones that you just reach over and pick them up, right? And you go, ooh.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, the moment I picked up that agency arms one, I was blown away with just the feel and the texture, and it just translates over into the 509. I mean, the 509 platform is what makes that build so good.
Yeah.
And I got giddy when I picked that thing up.
Yeah, they take a pretty amazing pistol and they make it gooder.
Gooder.
So yeah,
that's it.
Yeah,
I graduated.
You don't often see Casey. You don't see him giggle that often.
No, never.
He kind of picks it up, and just kind of giggle a little bit. And go, man,
I had grinning ear to ear when I picked that thing up. I was like, ooh. Wonder if they'd miss this one.
Yeah, I think they probably would miss you.
To be honest with you, I don't need a U-Haul truck. I just need a bag.
Right.
That's all I need.
Yeah.
But maybe a big bag.
Yeah.
Yes.
There actually are people walking around here with big bags. I'm wondering. Yeah, I probably know what's in there. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's probably so.
That is one of the interesting things. You walk around here, and we haven't had any accidents.
And people say, well, does anybody carry? Well, actually, we've seen a number of people open carry.
Yeah.
There's a lot of open carry.
Yeah.
And I would say probably on a factor of roughly 10 to 1, you probably got concealed carry versus open carry, don't you think?
That's accurate.
Probably,
that's
reasonable.
absolutely. I mean,
and haven't heard any loud noises.
No loud pops.
I did see a cool sign in one of the booths that says, "Please keep your personal firearm in its holster."
Yeah.
So that's a reasonable request.
Yes.
Okay, we like that. It's not a case of, well, here, let me. No, I'm not seeing into that. I'm not going to have let me show you mine. Or does that holster fit my gun? No, that's okay.
Oh my gosh.
And we're not seeing any of that.
No.
It's pretty cool.
It's actually really interesting walking around because you just see people being very responsible And, and you'll go walk around here, and they're like, no, this is free stuff. You can take it. And they're all asking, hey, do you mind if I take that?
I hear that from everybody. Nobody just walks up and grabs stuff and says, is this really a sample? Okay, yeah, I can take it. All right, cool.
Yeah, and then they're so appreciative of it. I mean, you mean this is free coffee?
So the saws, those are samples?
No samples.
Oh,
yeah. We didn't bring any.
You had to ask.
I had it going that direction. I thought I'd try it,
That's a good try.
It's worth an effort, right? What are you going to do?
Well, if they're not going to let me get away with a U-Haul truck, they're not going to let us walk out of here with those saws.
Yeah. Jared, thank you so much for hosting us here, man. Tell you what, KG and I are going to wrap this thing up. FN has been great to take care of us here. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right. Don't go far. We'll be right back. Well, we are definitely rounding third and heading for home. We're in the final stretch here, doing the live show from the NRA's annual meetings. We're in the FN booth here, sitting here with KJ, and it is definitely getting thin now, partner.
It's getting thin, but this is actually a really good time to walk around the show because that now it's almost a fire sale. So now you can start making deals with these manufacturers out here. You can say, hey, how about I give you this?
I got your volume here.
Yeah, we got. So that's a good way to get out here quick. You don't have to fight the crowds.
Because nobody's selling guns here, but you can sometimes at the end of the day, you can pick up deals on maybe some holsters, some things that people don't want to cart back, especially the smaller vendors who think, I got to throw all this in my car and drive it back. And you can say, well, you got any deals? Well, yeah. I've bought some knives that way in the past.
Knives are the biggest thing. That's the first thing I thought of.
Oh, yeah?
I was like, man, I've got a couple of knife manufacturers that I always love to hit at the end of the day.
Because they're packing stuff up.
Well, and our fine friends at Gun Storage Solutions, now they're offloading some stuff.
Oh, are they really?
Yes, they're offloading
those
some
rods
good deals.
Rifle
rods?
Ooh, those are nice.
I don't know.
We did a deal where we took a bunch of guns, put them in a safe, and then took them out and used their deal. We got twice as many guns in a safe using their little rods.
It held to capacity, or if not more.
Yeah, because leaning them up against the walls, you're eating up all your space.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I wouldn't mess around with that, but they are I bet they're sold out. I would almost guarantee you. I'm going to head over there just to check because my safe is in need of some TLC.
I see. Well, I got to get my safes back. After the fire, we had to move those out. They weren't touched by the fire, but I had to move them out. So I got to get them back. And that's one of those deals where I figured out the deal.
Oh, yeah.
You call the company that sells the safes, the Liberty Safe dealer there. They'll come over and pick them up and move them into your house and put them right where they're supposed to go, and you pay them for their service. And then you and me are not trying to move these beasts around.
Break our backs and trying to get out of there. I didn't know that was a service that you can that you offer. So guys out there listening, pay attention.
You got a credit card? They'll take care of you.
Yeah, you can handle anything with money.
It is so true, isn't it? Exactly. Well, let's see. As we're wrapping this thing up, it's kind of like, how do you explain? It's like trying to describe the Grand Canyon to somebody. So you just got to be there.
You just got to be there.
You just got to see it.
That's a good point.
You just got to see it. And, we've had so much fun. You get to hang out with interesting people. We got, the Rob Lathams, the Julie Golobs of the world. But you also get to talk. I don't care who it is. You stop anybody out here, and you can have an interesting conversation with them.
Oh, absolutely. And you might not agree on anything, but we all agree on one thing, that this event is unreal, out of this world, and we can all sit down and have a logical conversation.
And we're all solid on gun rights. We may not agree on anything else. We may be 9 versus 45 guys.
That's more likely the argument
you'll get.
That's a given. Yes, yeah. But you sit here and look at it, and it's just a bunch of like-minded people in one great location. Dallas has been very accommodating.
It has. I asked my cab driver this morning, how have the people at the convention been treating you? NRA, of course. He says, everybody's been really nice. Yeah, it's like, I hear it all the time, but I wanted him to say it.
Yes. And some of those people, I was like, well, what'd you expect? We're not going to come in and raid your town.
We're the ones. We're the good guys, right?
We're the good guys.
All right. Well, KJ, we're doing more video this week. We're working with Rob Latham. We're shooting video next week for Guns and Gear. That season's coming up real fast. We'll start airing in July.
We are filming, I believe, every week in between now and the end of June for Guns and Gear Season 10.
Wow.
And it's all different locations, and we're flying all over the world to do this. And I think it
starts in July, so tune in on Sportsman Channel, all right?
It's going to be an amazing season.
There it is. KJ, thank you so much. Always fun, man.
Always fun.
We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. And everybody, we appreciate you being here. It has been grand. Thank you to the FN guys for letting us hang out in their booth. And for all of you listeners, we appreciate it. Don't forget, take somebody to the range, introduce somebody to shooting. It is a great family sport. Get involved. You want to do something for the Second Amendment? Introduce somebody to shooting. Be safe out there. We'll see you next week.